Hey everyone, I'm Veronica Diaz-Lodi, registered dietitian and certified diabetes educator.
And I'm Christy Castillo, nurse and diabetes educator, and also live with type 1 diabetes.
Together we are Diabetes Unfiltered. That is the name of our series. Christy, you want to tell them why?
Yes. So Diabetes Unfiltered, we are actually just stripping down diabetes and the therapy to treat it, and really giving you the unfiltered version of how do you do this in reality on a day-to-day basis, and trying to uncover this complexity of therapy so that it makes more sense to you as the viewer.
Hopefully you view us as a resource in your diabetes learning, because we do have a few other videos out there, and we hope to be putting these out every few weeks. So enjoy. Quick disclaimer before we get started. Christy and I do work for an insulin pump company, but our views, our opinions, any information we provide on this video does not reflect the opinions of that company. They are of our own, and before you practice anything or put anything into practice, please check with your diabetes educator or your doctor to make sure it's the right thing for you. Oh, Telly, do you want to say hi? Say hi to the camera really quickly.
Hi.
So let's talk about the differences between multiple daily injections, or as your provider might call it, MDI therapy, versus an insulin pump. So for those of you out there that are on injection therapy, you're likely on two types of insulin. A long-acting insulin, which is the basal insulin. So it's called long-acting or basal insulin, and then it would be called basal insulin in the insulin pump. However, you do not use the long-acting insulin in an insulin pump. So in other words, you take two types of insulin using injection therapy. There is only one type of insulin with an insulin pump therapy. You'll only use your rapid-acting insulin. So long-acting insulin are insulins like your Lantus, your Tresiba, Toujeo, Basaglar. Your rapid-acting insulins, your mealtime insulins, are things like your Humalog, your Novolog, even Apidra, Fiasp, Admelog, and who knows what else is coming out in the near future. So you'll only use that mealtime insulin in an insulin pump, and then what will happen is, because it's actually a slow little drip of insulin throughout the day, that then becomes your basal insulin. Okay. The nice beauty of using only your rapid-acting insulin in an insulin pump as your basal insulin is that you can manipulate it, because it's got a shorter lifetime in your body. It only lasts for about 4 hours, give or take, okay, depending on your metabolism. So we can really manipulate that insulin very well to help match your normal physiology.
Yeah, it's really good if you're active, and even if you're not active. I know whenever we work with people, some people say, for example, during the day they have a dust job. And so the Lantus that they take in the morning or the night before ends up causing high blood sugars during the day because they're not active. So on an insulin pump, you can bump up that insulin during the day when you notice there's a trend and you need more insulin, because of the flexibility of changing the doses throughout the day.
Also, think about that long-acting insulin you're taking. Once you inject it, it's in there for at least 24 hours. So if you become active, you become more insulin sensitive. You have no way to pull that insulin back, so the only way that you can manage that is by eating more calories. Well, we don't always want to eat more calories when we become more active, right? So with an insulin pump, because
or in general, if you don't need to, why? I mean, that can lead to, to waking.
Right. So with an insulin pump, you can say, you know what, I'm going to be active. I'm going to pull that insulin dose back so that you're going to prevent the hypoglycemia from happening without having to consume the extra calories for that. Okay. So that is the biggest advantages of an insulin pump, is the ability to micromanage your dosing on a continuous basis.
So let's show you what are the components of an insulin pump. So there are different insulin pumps out there. This one specifically is the T-Slim. So you have your controller. So you can see with the T-Slim, we actually have a sticker on here. For those of you who aren't keen on this design, you don't need a sticker on here to make it fun. But this one is touchscreen, and here's your controller. And then you can't see it underneath the case, but there's actually a cartridge in here, and it's a disposable. You would fill it with insulin every 3 days and put in a whole new cartridge. So you fill this cartridge in here with insulin every 3 days, and then you also connect it to the tubing, to the infusion set. And this is a pillow, but it's taking the place, we're just pretending it would be your skin, let's say your abdomen. So you would then insert these infusion sets into your body. Go ahead if you want to
It's just
explain it.
like your normal insulin injection. So it's no more intimidating. It's not surgery. You actually take only one injection every 3 days. You are left with the infusion set on your body that will stay there for 3 days, and then you connect and disconnect the tubing. And you can stay disconnected, I'd say, for safety up to about an hour. And you might want to do that if you're hopping in a pool, you're going to run down the beach. Even like if you're going to be intimate and you want to take the pump off, and then you're only left with this small, very discreet infusion set left behind.
We have a great video around wearability, so check that one out where we review different ways that you can wear your pump. There's different accessories that you can also use to hide your pump in different places. So definitely check out that video.
And I do want to mention that I know to those of you who've never worn a pump before, this might look intimidating. I will say it was a game changer for me when I first went on an insulin pump. I first went on an insulin pump when I was 16 years old, and I knew immediately the benefits of wearing an insulin pump. And I've been on and off therapy, insulin pump therapy, throughout the 25 years that I've had diabetes. But it really is discreet, and the tubing is an advantage for me because I can be more discreet with the placement. And
where's your pump right now?
Yeah, it's actually on my hip. So I do have a bathing suit on underneath because she's got a pool in the backyard that we plan to jump in later. So I do have it on my hip, and then you can wear it, underneath your bathing suit bottoms or wherever you choose. But with insulin pumps, that you can be discreet with your dosing, so you don't have to be, pull out your insulin pen and dose and do all this stuff. You can be more on the fly. So I can say, you know what, I just need a half a unit and just punch in a half a unit, or do it with a quick bolus.
Or the pump does a calculation for you.
And it does.
There's a calculator in there, and based on the settings that your doctor, your provider would set for us. And mind you would be trained, so it's not like this would just show up at your house or at your front door and you wouldn't know what to do. You would be fully trained by the insulin pump company. They would meet you, and they would go ahead and program it with the appropriate insulin dose settings. And like she said, instead of you having to do the math in your head, you can literally go in and punch in your carbs, you punch in your blood sugar dose, and it will calculate how much insulin you should get.
Absolutely. And then let's talk about realistic expectations. When you first get on an insulin pump, the initial doses are going to be probably not perfect. We always want to be safe starting on an insulin pump, so you would work with your educator, your provider, your trainer to optimize those doses for you. So we know diabetes isn't perfect, and we don't expect it to be perfect because there's not a perfect therapy out there. But insulin pump therapy, along with CGM therapy, actually sure does make
continuous glucose monitor.
Oh, thank you. Sure does make things a little less effort, with a lot less effort. So we hope you consider insulin pump therapy, and please comment below and let us know any questions that you have. We'd be happy to answer.
If you found this video helpful, give us a like or give us a thumbs down. If you don't, we definitely take feedback.
Yeah.
And also, we'd love if you subscribe to our channel so you can be updated every time we post a new video.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks. Bye, everyone.
Bye.